Hiya, it's Wendy here again from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Today's a different sort of video for me. Now, I am a crafts channel and I do other crafts, but mostly I work with resin, as you probably know. Today I'm doing a wood turning product on a lathe. Now, I'm not an expert, and this is a disclosure. Do not copy what I've done because I may be doing it all wrong. I don't know. I may be holding the tools wrong, I may be using the wrong tools. I have no idea, but I wanted to show you that even though I've only had the lathe for a little while, a couple of months at most, this is only my second bowl, so I thought I'd show you. Let's have a look and see how I got with it. So I'm not going to be talking right the way through this video, but I'm going to be trying to tell you a little bit of what I'm doing and what I'm using. And to start with, I've got a Sycamore blank which I've put on a block onto the lathe, and I'm using an easy wood carbide rougher to start the turning. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I do seem to have a death grip on this carbide tool. You don't need to grip it that tight. I completely know that I'm holding on for it for dear life, which I really don't need to. So the idea to start with is to make it round because it's slightly off centre where it's been put on the lathe. So I've got to make it round, so I'm starting with the edges and then going on to the front, which is going to be the bottom. Most of this video is sped up to ×8. I have cut a little bit out, but not a great deal, so that you can see everything that I'm doing. The sanding, however, I did cut most of it out because that takes so long, and I know you don't want to sit through the sanding. So I need to make a mortise. Now, mortise is basically an inside part or hole in the wood, so that when I turn it round and put it back onto the lathe, it has something to grip to. And because of that, I need to measure it to make sure I'm going to get the right size for the jaws on the chuck that I have. So I'm using an easy wood detailer to get a straight edge on the mortise, i.e. the hole in the bottom of the wood, and a rougher to make sure that the hole is flat inside. I sound as if I know what I'm talking about. I kind of do, but I'm no expert, so please don't take any notice of me. Don't learn from me. I'm not a teacher at this. I'm just trying to give you some information, that's all. I do tend to relax after a little while of doing this, and when you see it speed up, it actually looks as if I know what I'm doing. So once you've taken most of the outside of the wood off with the rougher, which is the square tool, then you want to go on to the finisher, which is the round tool, and it doesn't take as much wood off, but it is a lighter cut and it does give a better finish, apparently. So as I said, I'm not going to put you through the sanding. I just want to give you a brief idea of what it is. I start at 80 grit and I finish at 400 grit. So I'll wipe over with methylated spirits to clean off all the dust, and I'm going to use some chestnut sanding sealer on the wood before I use some Yorkshire grit. So Yorkshire grit normal and then Yorkshire grit micro fine, and it does bring out the wood lovely. Yorkshire grit is basically a wet sanding system that will bring the sanding up to around 3000 grit, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I know it's high, and I know that the microphone brings it up a lot shinier and a lot smoother. So if you're going to do Yorkshire grit, you might as well do the microphone as well, I think. Now when it comes to finishes, I'm not too sure on what's best for what wood, so I thought I'd use the Wood Wax 22, which a lot of turners seem to use. And it does come out quite nice actually. So once I'm happy with the outside, I've turned it round on the lathe and put the chuck into the mortise to hold it steady. And now it's time to turn out the middle of the bowl. And I'm back to using a rougher to take most of the wood away. So now I'm back to using the finishing tool to make it smoother, because the rougher, bearing in mind I'm not very good at this yet, is really scraped into the wood. So the finishing tool should smooth things out before I go into the sanding. I'm trying to make sure that the bottom is concave rather than convex. When you're turning, the middle tends to not get turned as easily because it's closer to the centre. So you have to take the nubbin off and make sure it, well, you can either do it flat or you can do it concave, and I was trying to get a concave bowl. So the same with the outside, you then sand from, I sanded from 80 to 400 grit, and then I used some methylated spirits to clean it off, and sanding sealer and Yorkshire grit. And finished with Wood Wax 22. So what I didn't film was when I was taking it off the chuck, it bounced off of the lathe and onto the floor. I had to re-polish it, but yeah. So as you saw in the video, I got there in the end. I probably didn't use the right equipment, the right tools. I have absolutely no idea, but I did get a finished product and I am so chuffed with it. It's a little Sycamore bowl. I love the finish. I love that it's so smooth. I've signed and dated the bottom. And yeah, it's an achievement for me to be able to turn something on the lathe that is actually useful and looks nice. I'm so chuffed. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me. I know this is a bit different to my normal videos, but I still wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for that. Come back and see what I'm up to next week. You never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Bye for now.